Hello, welcome to Hotline Live World Cup Special. My name is Daniel Coe. I'm delighted to be joined all the way from Fort Lauderdale by Record Sports.
Daniel, I don't know if you can hear us, but we can't hear you, mate.
I can hear you guys all right, aye? I don't know what's happening at your end. This is a wonderful start, isn't it? Maybe we'll need to get the guys to come out and come back in. How you doing now? No? Can you
Daniel,
hear us?
we can't hear what you're saying.
If this is
Do you want us just to speak?
it's not
What do
very
we do here?
I'm not
Why
actually-
don't we sort of restart this? Might be a good idea.
Yep, we'll do that. You can't hear me, so I don't know why I'm saying it. Right, well, that seems like a bit of a false start. Excellent. Let me just bear with me a moment.
Wonder. Best thing to do.
How about now, guys? Can you hear me? Obviously not. We apologise for the inconvenience. Getting Keith Jackson to work technology is a bit like getting your granda to set up an iPhone or something. He's not the best with technology. Scott's meant to be there to solve it, but he's let us all down. The thing is, we were chatting for about 10 minutes before we came on air, and it sounded absolutely fine. So there you go, sod's law. Hello, guys.
Right, Dan.
There you go, full start.
Can hear you now.
We
Hello,
are
what
still
happened there?
we are still live.
Oh, brilliant. That'll make great viewing for the audience. I was fumbling a bit.
Well, we're still live.
Still live. Here we are.
You're kidding me. What have you been doing for the last 5 minutes?
Talking to myself.
Well, apologies. I don't know what happened there. I don't think it was our fault.
Might be this weather.
It might be the weather. That's why I was going to say that's why we're up in the balcony. I'm not too sure we were too keen to go back to that garden after the snake incident and
Exactly.
the dragon that was cutting about. So
They're running a bet on which exotic animal will eat you tonight.
I know, well, there better not be one comes into this balcony.
I don't know.
Real problems.
I have no idea how any of them could get into this balcony. We're 7 floors up, 6 floors up. So I think we're safe. The technology's now working. Apologies, that was a very clunky opening to the show. How are you, Daniel?
I'm wonderful, thanks, and my heart is breaking for you guys with the rain there. That's out of order.
Oh, well, do you know what?
Sunny Fort Lauderdale.
It's kind of been like that since we arrived in Florida. It's just been one rainstorm after the next, hasn't it? It's been really sort of intense heat as well, and then all of a sudden something comes along to puncture it. You get this downpour. This isn't, by the way, a bad one yet, but it could get worse. So that's good. So if we don't get eaten by an animal, we'll probably get struck by lightning, recording or going putting the microphones and all that. We'll probably get a shot right into them.
I know.
You'll see us executed live on Hotline Live.
Which most people would quite like, I would imagine.
Yeah. Electric chair.
I thought it was funny last night, Keith, when you said Hotline dead. That was quite good. I like that.
Hotline fried. Hotline fried tonight.
I know
There's plenty.
I know the Scotland players, Dan. I know the Scotland players, not yesterday, but the day before, they went out to play, I think, the PGA National golf course. But I think after one hole, it got semi-abandoned due to thunder and lightning. They managed to get back out. I think they done our 7 holes, and then the lightning that came back again, and they had to chuck it as well. So it's not just affecting us, it's affecting the team as well.
They do take it very seriously over here.
Yeah.
I'm entirely sure that somewhere in some kind of code book of what to do and what not to do, standing out in a balcony holding a microphone is probably not at the top of the safety list. But there you go.
Well, last night, Dan, I'm sure we're going to speak about it. I went to the Haiti New Zealand friendly at the old Inter Miami Stadium, and we turned up for the game probably about an hour before kickoff. going to the stadium, me and another couple of the press boys, and
The storm just started when I was waving you off into your Uber and going to the bar to get a cheeseburger.
it was genuinely, as soon as we get out of the taxi, the rain started, and you could just hear the kind of grumbling of the sky. And basically, as we get into the stadium, there's weather warnings everywhere on the big screens, basically telling people to take shelter underneath the stand. Whereas us Scottish dafties were sitting in the main stand, ready to get electrocuted. Metal all around us.
I'm telling you, you take your life in your hands doing this job.
Well, one of the comments that are coming into us as well, it's worth pointing out, Sing the Blue says, do you not realise that snakes can go up balconies?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either, but thanks.
Don't I?
Thanks for that.
You mentioned, obviously, the game last night. Why don't we start on that then? Haiti thumping New Zealand 4-0. A wee bit scary, considering we played.
It's the last thing you want, isn't it?
You know what, Dan? What an experience it was. I mean, naively, I went to that game last night thinking there'll hardly be anybody turn up. No, it might even be behind closed doors. No, obviously Scotland coaches and that were going to watch the game. I expected it just to be a kind of humdrum, kind of friendly warm-up game.
2 men and a dog.
Honestly, I could not believe. I'm talking 10,000 strong Haiti fans at the game, and they were the noisiest set of supporters I've heard in a long, long time. It was incredible, literally deafening at times.
You were saying they were getting excited when they get across the halfway.
Honestly, that's what, as soon as the team got across the halfway line, they started celebrating like it was a goal. Literally jumping up and down. The noise was unbelievable. We were sitting there thinking, if this team score, it's going to be unreal. And it was four times. Genuinely, I was so glad I was there to experience it. But as you say, from a football point of view, it surprised me as well because they were better. They were better than I anticipated.
How did they play?
The game started off and it looked like New Zealand were going to be better. They were better passing the ball, a bit better technically, you thought. But the pace and the intensity and the speed that Haiti played at was just too much for the Kiwis. And with that crowd behind them, as I say, it was...
Is it a physical team then?
Aye, they're physical. Aye, they're not scared to. No, they're not scared to get into tackles and put it about. Look, they played a kind of conventional 4-4-2. The two fullbacks don't go forward that much. It's a kind of narrow four at the back. They then get two central midfielders who just sit and are like dogs in there, in terms of their energy and getting about the pitch. But see, ahead of that, Daniel, the four attacking players played with two strikers and two wingers. They are just given licence to go at every opportunity. And I've rarely seen a team attack with such vigour and intent. And the New Zealand team just couldn't deal with it. And look, they've got some good players. I mean, Wilson Isidore started up front, obviously plays with Sunderland in the Premier League. Good player. Bellegarde, who came off the bench, played with Wolves, obviously, the Premier League last season. The winger who scored the first goal last night, a brilliant goal. He's kind of ex-PSG, France under 19. I think he now plays in Holland. Scored a cracking goal. So they've got some decent players. And honestly, Scotland, look, if Scotland play to their capabilities, you'd like to think we've got better players than them, and we can go and beat them, and we'll expose their kind of deficiencies. But I'm telling you, going forward, they're a major threat. They play off the cuff. It's a wee bit kamikaze at times, which worries me because I worry that we don't really deal well with teams like that.
Jeez, Scott.
Honestly, I'm not trying to...
Honestly, man. We're standing here in the tipping rain. This feels as if the mood has just shifted.
Jack,
you're telling us it's over.
You need to be realistic. Honestly, if people think Scotland are just going to turn up and run over the top of them, I think they're going to be mistaken. And I think Scotland need to be wary. I mean, a lot of the stuff coming out of the Scotland camp this week is about how this tournament's not going to be about pressing and it's going to be a bit more slow tempo. Haiti don't
No,
know how to
that's-
play at
yeah.
a slow tempo. Honestly, trust me, they will be far more used to these conditions, playing in the heat and humidity. So I'm a wee bit more concerned than I was yesterday.
Have we
after
got anybody
how
left
it
watching this?
Just Haitians.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm going to take the flip side of the coin. I know that I wasn't there, Scott, right? And I actually really do appreciate your sort of knowledge of the game. So I'm concerned by that. But my first kind of trying to be positive about it would be we struggle a little bit when we're up against teams that camp in. We struggle
Yeah,
to
no,
break
yeah.
teams down. I think if they're going to come flying out the traps at us, I think it gives us an opportunity to spring on them.
Yeah.
We've got pace in wide areas. We've got, guys in the middle of the pitch that can spot a pass. I think if it's going to be an open game, I think that might suit us better.
I think it will.
And I think
Disagree.
it might just be two sides going hell for leather.
Yep.
We could get an absolute cracker then.
Honestly, I don't disagree. And I said to Jack earlier, I think the way they play in the kind of 4-4-2 and they are a bit gung-ho, for me, and I know we've discussed this already in terms of potential starting lineup, but see somebody like Lawrence Shanklin, Daniel, who can just play off the front and find wee pockets of space. He's obviously done it a lot for Hearts, but he's equally adept at obviously getting into the box and getting goals. I think somebody like that could be crucial. We've already talked about how we think he should start that opening game. But Jacko's right. I mean, if they do come at us, which last night would suggest they will, then the likes of a Gannon Doak or a Curtis or even like a Christie or something on the break, no, we could hurt them. I don't doubt we'll get chances. They will give you chances. The goalkeeper, I think the goalkeeper's in his 40s, not quite as old as Craig Gordon, but he's no great at coming for crosses. Good shot stopper.
So set pieces gives us a chance as well.
Aye, that's another potential kind of weakness. But I'm telling you, as Jacko says, I mean, if they do come at us, it could be a cracking game. And see, when I'm talking about the supporters, if you think the Tartan Army are loud at major tournaments, wait till you hear this mob. I mean, the atmosphere in Boston for that game should be absolutely incredible. And I just think, no, irrespective of the scoreline or what happens, Haiti will be fun to watch. I think a lot of people neutral
Might not be much fun.
will take to them.
Might not be much fun if they're
They go 2-0 up against
No.
us. If
Aye,
they're
that won't be,
coming
that
at us.
won't be much fun.
and kill our entire World Cup campaign in the first 20 minutes.
No, listen, I'm not that negative. I think, look, it'll be an open game. I would still expect Scotland to win, but please don't underestimate them and don't go into the game, as I say, expecting it to be slow paced and try to play your way into the game. Scotland are going to need to be at it, because these Haiti players they're right up for it. They want to make a mark on this World Cup.
And that is do you know something? And Scott, I'm glad, even though you're depressing the life out of me, and the rain's not helping as much either here, but it probably is time for a bit of realism. I think we'd all looked at this from the draw and went, right, there's 3 points in the bag right away. And that, what do we need to get after that? I'm getting quietly terrified by everything that you've just said to us, but I still have the belief. I just don't. I think we will have the quality to, we'll outweigh them in the quality department, and that will be the key for me. But I accept what you're saying. We're going to have to be as bright as attack physically. We're going to have to be sharp. We can't have a slow start. Scotland have had slow starts to some games. That's not going to be allowed here. We're going to have to be matching them stride for stride in the early part of the game, and then hopefully the quality should come to the fore, and we'll get there.
And also another caveat, Dan, is New Zealand were poor. I mean, those two teams were the two lowest ranked teams at the World Cup, so there actually shouldn't have been that much in the game. But Haiti were well better. I mean, New Zealand started okay, but they were, even with Chris Wood up front, Elijah Just obviously from Motherwell coming in off the right, they really lacked any kind of creativity or attacking threat. And by the end, I mean, Haiti were well worth the win. They could have probably scored another couple of goals.
We've got tons of comments coming in already. Before I get stuck into them, Elijah Just, Scott, did he stand out at all last night? Or
No, not really. I mean, he struggled a wee bit. Dan, I think he played for about an hour. As I say, started in the right, but it was clear that he was kind of given a bit of licence to go in and try and link up with Chris Wood. I felt for him slightly because, when we talk about Haiti being physical, he took a few sore ones, late challenges, not early in the game. But there were other times where he was trying to get into, he was trying to find wee pockets of space, and it did feel as if a few of the New Zealand players just weren't in the same kind of wavelength as him. But we spoke to him after the game, and obviously he was disappointed. He accepted that New Zealand have got a lot of work to do before they start this World Cup campaign. But look, for him, he's just delighted to be part of it, and in that squad. It just caps off what was a brilliant season for him at Motherwell, and one that now sees him being linked. Being linked to big clubs like Celtic, Rangers, and others. So it's going to be really interesting to see where his future lies after the World Cup.
Well, let me throw some of these comments that we've got coming in at you, and if you're watching at home, let us know your thoughts. Kenneth says, the Scotland midfield is world class, so I'm not worried. Plus the match is at 9 PM Boston time, it will be cooler. Scott says, we have to start believing in this Scotland squad with a lot of very good players, playing in very good leagues. Surely that can only benefit us. Brian Urquhart, very confident, says, New Zealand are poor. We may as well chuck it if we can't beat Haiti. We will beat them comfortably, not buying them, causing us danger. Oh, Brian, man. English means pound for pound, Scotland are a better team than Haiti. It worries me. Says, Shanklin needs to show up in the ability. Haiti players are all powerful. Usually struggle against so-called minnows. It's all well and good win the Haiti game. That's non-negotiable.
It's a must win. I mean, we've talked about it. It's almost, don't want to say it's a one game World Cup, but it
kind
feels
of
like
is.
Aye,
It is.
like that.
The thing is, the way that the games fall, it's given us an opportunity to get a real foothold in the competition on game one. Had you been going in to the opener against Brazil or Morocco, you're thinking, right, we're going to be up against it here.
Like Germany at the Euros.
Yeah, but if we can get 3 points posted on the board after the first match, then it's a case of, right, do you know what? We're going to have to throw a 6-6 not to get through. I don't know how we'll manage that. We probably will. But no, I just think if Steve Clarke could have handpicked the order of these games, he'd have probably picked the exact order that we've got them.
Yeah.
Haiti gives you a chance of a win. Morocco, they're a right good side. We saw them at the last World Cup. They lit the place up. Some brilliant players. So that's going to be a struggle. But I've just got this wee little thing in the back of my head. And you know what Brazil do at these tournaments? They play their best team in the first two games. They secure qualification. And then the entire rest of the squad gets a game in the third game. So if we go into that against Brazil, I'm not saying...
Might give Neymar a game the third game. Might rest a couple just.
I just think that's your best. If you're going to meet Brazil at a World Cup, meet them in the third game of the group.
100%.
So, and I think it might, and I know we did that in Turin, didn't we? And it didn't work out, Italia 90.
Yeah.
But it nearly did. We came within, what, a couple of minutes?
I think we were waiting on another result even after we lost to Brazil, weren't we?
So yeah, I'm not as gloomy disposition as my wee pal here.
I'm not genuinely no negative. I mean, I still, as I say, I still think Scotland will win the game, but just seeing Haiti close up, seeing what they're all about, even just seeing the backing they've got for those fans, I'm just slightly more concerned about the game. I do think, in an attacking sense, they'll cause us a few problems, but listen, we'll cause them problems as well, and hopefully if we can get Bernoses in front early doors, it makes it a bit easier. But Elijah just said it last night after the game. We were asking him about how whether Scotland should be worried, and he just said, look, if anyone back in Scotland thinks there'll be any easy game at the World Cup, it's a big mistake. And I think you see that now. I mean, as I say, even a country like Haiti, when they've got guys at their disposal like Isidore, then you need to take them seriously. So it'll not be easy, Dan, but I think we can still win, obviously.
We've got plenty of comments coming in. As you can see, Partick says Brazil reserves could play in the third game. You never know. That could be a wee boost.
That's what I just said.
Great. Brendan says the games I've been watching Scotland have been rubbish, but managed to get the results. And Doco points out, are Haiti better than Greece and Denmark? No, we didn't perform well against them, but we did get through. Fair point.
I'm all for it. I'm full guns blazing here. We're going to put 3 points on the board. I accept that Scott is shaking my confidence a little bit with his assessment, but I still believe. Listen, I think one of the points that was made there was spot on, bang on the money. We have got a Scotland team, a Scotland squad for that matter, with more quality in it than I can remember since. Going to go back to probably the 80s, Spain 82, Mexico 86, when I thought we were probably at our strongest. Even 78, I can go back that far. So I look at what we've got. I look at if you compare and contrast this squad with France 98, I'm taking this squad all day long. All day long, I'm taking this group of players. And I think they've grown together, they've matured together. It feels to me as if this whole 6-7 year journey under Steve Clarke was made for this moment. This is them arriving, where this journey started off. This is the point that the whole thing had been aiming at, was getting here, doing this. And I believe with the amount of experience we've picked up along the way, the amount of caps they've picked up, I think we're ready. I honestly think we're ready. And I understand this isn't going to be a walkover game. I get that, Scott. I'm taking our quality over Haiti all day of the week as well.
You're right, but what that means is that there's no excuses for this squad. No.
There's no excuses, Scott. Listen.
There were two cracks at tournaments. The Euro 2020, it was a young squad, obviously. A lot of these guys are the main players now. No, maybe weren't the main players then. So it didn't really go to plan. We felt getting into Euro 2024 with a right good chance. Again, we were left disappointed. I don't disagree with you. It does feel like, for a lot of the guys in this squad, the big players, they are at their peak. No, they're at the optimum moment to go and perform on the very highest level. A lot of them have shown it with their clubs. So there's no reason for them not to do it with Scotland. But with that comes a pressure, and they need to go and deliver, certainly in this first game. It's all right me bumming up Haiti and saying they'll be dangerous. Scotland will still be heavy odds-on favourites to win this game, and of course that brings a pressure. But these players, they should be able to deal with that. They need to go and get
100%, and I'm sure they will. And you say no excuses. I mean, even the fact that the training facility that we were at yesterday, you look at how they're getting treated. They're getting lifted and laid, and rightly so. They're top level athletes, and they're being treated like that, which is the first time in a long time. I think if you go back through the years, Scotland players always moaned and groaned about bad hotels and cheap transport, and it was like, do you know what, guys? Here's a shirt, and I think the vast majority of punters out there would agree. You get a chance to wear a Scotland shirt, you don't care what sort of bus you're travelling in or what the flight's like. You're getting a chance. But football's moved on. Everything's moved on. These guys are used to the top level treatment at their clubs. They're used to the best of facilities. They're used to the best of everything. And that means there's no excuses, because the SFA, and everybody gives them a hard time. I'm particularly on the front foot with the SFA. But I have to commend them on this. They've pushed the boat out here. They've given us everything that we need to prepare and get ready. Steve Clarke's delighted with it. I congratulate him, because I do know he played a huge part in getting the SFA, reluctantly, albeit or through gritted teeth, to pay up, to give him the best of the best. And he deserves that, because he's qualified us for 2 tournaments. This is the third. He's raking in money that we weren't raking in for 20 odd years. So we should be spending what we're accumulating to make sure that we give ourselves the optimum opportunity here. And I think credit to the SFA, they've done it. But Scott is right. His base point there is absolutely spot on. There can be no excuses.
Absolutely. Alan says in the comments, Scotland will win our first 2 games, then we'll be playing our reserves against Brazil. But we've had some rather less cheery ones. David says, if that mob beats us the first game, Clark should be sacked on the spot. And Tone,
After signing a 4-year contract, one game into his 4-year contract.
Tone rather helpfully says, send a postcard home the day of the first game, see who arrives home first. That are the team. Just for that, Tone. The last thing, though, on that is just Sean summed it up well, says we better not sit back, wait for something to happen like we did at the last Euros. I think that's a feeling among a lot of the Tartan Army. Whatever happens, let's
That's
go
a
for
great
it.
point. Valid point.
Listen, it's a feeling. It's not just the Tartan. It's everybody. I remember.
Get the handbrake off.
I remember feeling so disappointed after the game against the Germans, the opening game at the Euros, for that exact reason. Is that okay? We accepted that Scotland went into the first Euros 2020-21. We accepted that, you know, we're the new guys in the block here. This was a new experience. There was an element of, listen, we're just delighted to get here because we had to get in through the back door. But so for us then to compound that by failing to take the handbrake off in the last tournament, that was so disappointing. And that's why I think Steve Clarke has a job in his hands winning, you know, a large chunk of the Scotland support background, because they blame him. They blame him for being too cautious, too negative. And I can't blame any support for saying any of that, because I wrote it all at the time after we got ejected from the tournament and sent in the first plane out. It was actually a frustration that was building into a bit of anger, because you're thinking, we're better than this. Why are we playing like that? Why are we so cautious? And then you're looking at other teams that are playing in the tournament, and they're not giving a toss. They're running about going 4-4-2, wingers, crosses. And we looked, our players looked as if they'd been overcoached to the point they were scared to move half a yard in the wrong direction, because it might kind of put a hole in the system that Steve Clarke had designed for them. We can't be like that. We need to be a lot more confident in ourselves. Steve Clarke needs to be a lot more trusting in his players. But I think that's where we're at. Listen, I might be entirely wrong, but I think that's what this journey has been all about. I think Steve Clarke, if he puts his hand in his heart, would accept that all those criticisms were completely valid after the last Euros. And what I find it gives me enthusiasm is the fact that Steve Clarke's mentioned himself. The players are raging. They're still raging about how they performed at the Euros. Steve Clarke is raging. I think they've all realised, guys, we are so much better than this. Any chance we can go to a tournament and show it?
Well, you can't say on one hand we've got one of the best groups we've ever had. Guys playing in Serie A, guys playing in the Premier League, Scott McTominay, Ballon d'Or. Well, this is brilliant. And then you turn up at a tournament and don't let them play.
Exactly right.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly right.
We've got tons of comments coming in, guys, but I wanted to actually talk about the Scotland stuff that we couldn't talk about last night because of the embargo. Steve Clarke has explained, I guess, his decision to leave Lenny Miller out and take Tyler Fletcher. Now that we can talk about it a little bit more, what did you guys make of it? I mean, he said he couldn't sleep. He said that he is happy with his decision, though. And he says that, look, I'm here to make decisions. At the end of the day, I've made it.
He said his exact quote was, "I'm comfortable with the decision." It was me that asked him. I says, "Are you happy with the decisions you made?" Because it's caused quite a bit of debate ever since Billy Gilmore went down injured. There's been a kind of flurry of big decisions. Are you happy with him? And he said that he was. What was the word that I just said? He said, "Comfortable. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with my decision." He then went straight into a long spiel about how difficult it's been. There's more stuff to come on this as well. Really fascinating insight and everything went on the Saturday night when it became obvious that Billy Gilmore's problem was going to rule him out of this World Cup. And then he moved on and started talking about how he had to wrestle with this decision. He knew that he was going to come in for a serious bit of fire by taking a guy who had only just turned up to make up the numbers at training and fast tracking him straight into a World Cup squad, regardless of the fact that he's only played 17 minutes of top team football at Manchester United. He knew not only was he going to take flack for doing that, but he also knew he was going to absolutely shatter 3 guys that were in his standby list for that position. And he said that he couldn't sleep. He couldn't sleep on the Saturday night because all this was whirling around his head. It was as emotional, as honest, as sort of genuine as I can remember seeing Steve Clark at any point over the last 7 years when we've been sitting interviewing him. It was authentic. What he said was authentic. And it kind of made you realise, wow, I mean, it's okay for us to kind of throw stones and say, well, this is ridiculous and, you know, criticise. But when he sort of took us inside how he was feeling and how he had to process the decision making. And you could tell that it kind of kicked lumps out of him a wee bit.
I think he had to trust his own judgment, didn't he?
Effectively, kept coming back to that.
30 years in the game, I had to. No, I think I know the game, and I think that's where he was really wrestling with it, because
he's obviously looking at knowing what he should do.
Aye, his instincts telling him Tyler Fletcher for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But he knows this is going to be the most unpopular,
and it's going to shatter the 3 boys that he knows really well and that he respects and admires and that have been part of the journey along the way. So he's basically, if you boil it down, I probably think he's effectively saying that he's going on a hunch with Tyler Fletcher. I would add into that as well. It could be more than that. I think there might well be an element of he knows that Jack Fletcher is in between decisions. He's looking at going to England's under-19s. Well, his twin brother is going to a World Cup. And there might be an element...
His twin brother who's supposedly behind him. Do you know what I mean? Mm. Tyler Fletcher's supposedly behind Jack.
Yeah, so Jack Fletcher's meant to be... But look, they're young boys. You never know how development's going to go, but Jack Fletcher does seem to be the sort of more highly rated of the two. And Steve Clark could effectively be getting a twofer here. If Jack looks at what his brother's doing and thinks, why am I playing under 19? He's playing at a World Cup. So maybe there's an element of that comes into it as well.
It's a very good point. We don't play Bolivia until Saturday, and I know you guys are 4 hours behind us. So talk us through what's on your itinerary the rest of tonight and tomorrow.
We're 5 hours.
5 hours behind.
5 hours, so it is. Sorry, apologies.
No, that's all right. So we're flying up to New York tomorrow, aren't we, Scotty?
Yep. So travelling day tomorrow, Dan. So we've got work to do later on tonight. We should kind of cover as well. We're travelling. We get up to New York tomorrow, and then it'll just be preparing for press conference on Friday. Pre Bolivia press conference.
I mean, your travelling tomorrow isn't going to jeopardise the Hotline Live, is it? I mean, this is the World Cup special. You do it for the plane, that's fine.
No. With that in mind, Daniel, we made sure that we've got a nice early flight, so we get into New York nice and early, get into our digs, and we don't know what these digs even look like, but we'll be here. We'll be here, Dan. Of course we will.
No, you wouldn't let the viewers down. And tonight, any plans tonight?
I'm hungry. Don't know about you. We've not. Listen again. I know this is going to people go off, but on something like this, you actually don't get, because you're waking it up, and when you wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and it's already 12 o'clock back home, and people are expecting stuff to get sent, stories to get written, videos and all that. So you're kind of always running for the minute you get out of your bed in the morning. You're just trying to do all your stuff.
He's going to find this out for himself.
I know. I'm looking forward to you seeing this, Dan. So you actually don't get a lot of... We sat down, we grabbed a quick bite, didn't we, earlier on today?
Yeah.
We're thinking, how many times have we actually sat down to get something to eat since we come here? So I think, hopefully, with a bit of luck, we might be able to go and get a bit of dinner tonight and chill for a couple of hours.
And we might see a bit of New York when we get there. Hopefully you've never been to New York, have you?
Well, when we get there tomorrow, no, I've only been to through the airport waiting for a connection. I've never been to New York. It is a bucket lister.
Aye.
And I'm almost embarrassed to say that at my age I've never been to New York. So
I've only been once, but it'll be worth the wait. We'll go to
Times
Square tomorrow.
My first attempt to get to New York, of course, was aborted when the Titanic went down.
I ran the New York Marathon once. nearly killed
All right,
me.
move on.
They need to go, Stan.
That
Can
thing
you
I'm
believe
always
that? It's not all about you, Dan.
listen.
I
This
can
is the-
categorically say I won't be running the New York Marathon.
That'll not be happening.
Let me say I'll not be doing it again. A few people asking if and when I'll be out a week today. I'll be joining you guys in Boston.
Can't
Great.
wait.
They've got a marathon as well. You got to do that.
Excited by that prospect. I think that more or less brings us to the end of Wednesday night's Hotline Live World Cup special. Thank you so much for all the comments. We
From
massively
the tipping rain in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Check now.
let me get my violin out. Obviously, you can stay abreast of everything that's happening in Fort Lauderdale on Record Sport Online, and we'll be back at 9 p.m. UK time tomorrow. Keith, Scott, stay safe.
Cheers, Daniel.
Cheers, Daniel.
Thanks, everyone.
All the best, and thanks for watching at home. Cheers.